Welcome to our live chat or live LinkedIn feed coming today via StreamYard. So we're actually live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and we will record this video for uploading onto our pages. So today we're going to talk to you about MPIR, so the maximum permissible interest rate, and talk to you about why it's so pertinent today for the aged care consultant to actually understand how to explain the use of MPIR, what's the benefits to the resident currently as it is right now, and what are the things that you should know as the expert in the field. So that's what we're going to run through today. We would expect that this area would be something that you would come across every once in a while in someone asking the question of MPIR. But in our view, in terms of quality insight, our view is that we should be able to explain every aspect of entry to aged care, and MPIR is one of those areas. So the reason why we're talking about MPIR today is from the 1st of July, the maximum permissible interest rate is going to lift to 5%. So it's currently sitting at 4.07 or thereabouts. This lift of close to 1% is one of the largest lifts in a long time. So there's significant impact not only to residents incoming from the 1st of July, but also on residents that are currently in-house today under respite that are of high means. So we're going to talk about what are those impacts. So one of the very first ones is that for every $1,000 of DAP in a year, the increase of 1% is equal to $1,000 of DAP in any 1 year. So if you've got $100,000 of an advertised room price, every $100,000 is $1,000 of DAP. So why is that important to your high means residents? So we're going to go through that in a lot more detail. But first of all, we're going to talk about how do they get to this amount of 5%. And this again is one of those background things that you need to know as an aged care consultant. So where they get it from is the general interest rate. They less 3% to give the MPIR. So the general interest rate is set by the ATO. It's a measure that they use to do a lot of basis points on, but that's how they generate the MPIR result. MPIR in part helps determine DAP on the advertised beds. So DAP is the daily accommodation payment. So we are full of acronyms in this business. So you've already gone through MPIR, you've already gone through DAP. We need to understand how each of these things interlace amongst each other. So the daily accommodation payment has the MPIR as part of the formula to work out what that daily rate is going to be. And I've got some examples to run through on that. I spoke before about what is the impact upon our residents. So if we look at our respite residents in-house today, what an MPIR lift is going to do is going to mainly affect those that are of high means. So you've got a respite resident in-house right now. They are currently looking to convert over the next couple of weeks or possibly the next 28 days. It is in their best interest to convert now. They'll be paying a less DAP as long as that's what they've chosen to take on board. So as their means of payment, if they've opted for a DAP or a DAP RAD, they are better off converting today. And that's a conversation I'd be having with any of the families that we deal with right now. What it means for the moderate means resident is a little bit different. They're actually going to see a decrease in the RAC rate. It's going to come down by close to $100,000 or more or less on $100,000. So for your RAC resident or your moderate means resident, they are actually better off converting from the 1st of July. So in terms of us being fully transparent as consultants within the industry, your high means resident, they need to convert now. It will save them money. For your moderate means resident, they are better off delaying their conversion until from the 1st of July due to the MPIR shift. Those residents that are of low means, there's no real impact on them at all. They're going to be more impacted by lifts in basic daily fees. They're also going to see some moderate impacts if the interest rate keeps continuing to lift. It's more attractive to bring in a higher means or a non-supported resident into your facility. A couple of fun facts here is the MPIR. It's the highest it's ever been is 11.75%. So that happened in July of 2008. What that means for the residents back then, on an average 450k room, which is pretty much the average right now, they were paying $145 a day. As it sits today with the MPIR at 4.07, they're paying roughly $55 a day. So you can see the impact that the maximum permissible interest rate will have on the impact on the resident, but also on the revenue contributions back to the facility. So again, we need to be able to explain this to residents that whilst interest rates are going up, there will be a cost if they choose to use DAP. The opportunity to use RAD to pay for their accommodation is absolutely there. What you need to be careful of is the advice that you give. So you can talk in facts, so you can pay a RAD and it'll absolutely lessen the impact of any DAP fees, but you can't talk to a resident about how about you sell your house to pay the RAD to avoid the DAP. That becomes implied financial advice and that will get you in a little bit of trouble. So again, as I started the video, or this live chat, I looked at why would you want to be talking about MPIR or listening about it today. You want to know about MPIR mainly because you're the expert in the field of entry. It's one of those areas that people tend to avoid talking about. They'll brush over it really quickly, but our firm belief in Quality Insight, if you can be the person that can discuss what MPIR is, how it's determined, you will be seen as the expert in the field, and you'll build that bridge across with your consumer a lot quicker than if you just brush over these things. We firmly believe that context equals confidence. So know your product, know your audience, and know yourself. Through Quality Insight, we do a lot of training in terms of knowledge building. So we not only know about the financial aspects around it, we also do the soft selling skills piece. We also delve into the gap analysis also to see what is missing in the business and what value that we can add to that. But in knowing yourself also, we look at how do you actually communicate and portray that knowledge. It's no good knowing everything, but having no idea on how to get it out. Quality Insight is one of those areas that we believe we enhance the sales professionalism within aged care. Thank you for listening today. I know we've had a couple jump on. In the future, we would love to see a lot more interaction. Any ideas of what you'd like to see in these type of videos, please put them forward. We find video is going to be the way of a better communication tool than just writing blogs. So we would hope to see a lot more interaction in the future. Thank you and have a great day.